All right, let's get into it. We're in our next series starting up. It's going to be Byun against Solar. And we have in the bottom left, Byun. And in the top right, we have Solar. This is going to be a great match. Solar versus Byun. I mean, that's, you know, just two of the best players from the races going at it. Always a big fan of watching Byun games in these cups. He's been playing really well for months and months and months. Oh, man. We have some dummies in the chat right now. Some real dummies in there. All right, so let's see here. Well, I mean, it's very early in the game. We'll see where Byun goes. Byun generally likes 2x Reaper, 3 Reapers into expansion, and he has a lot of follow-ups for that. That's probably what we're going to be looking at here from Byun.
What? Rectal Touch 75 cheered. X300, when do you do the box live opening? My chat friend, clever StarCraft guy, wanted to send something, but he got banned, so he forgot about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe in a couple weeks. I'll have to see if anyone sends anything. I don't know. I haven't checked the PO box yet. But thank you. If anyone does want to mail anything for me to open on stream, use the command mail. You can get my PO box and send it there. All right, so he's actually going 3 racks. Okay, so this is a slightly different build than what I was talking about. The 3 racks Reaper build is pretty darn strong, and Byun is one of the best players at it. Of course, he's been one of the best Reaper players since, you know, 2010. I don't know. It's a very long time. Very long time. Since he switched to Terran, basically. Now, yeah, gonna send these Reapers across the map in... you know, we'll see when Solar figures out that it's 3 racks Reaper. Now, 3 racks Reaper, you put that third base down, he can kill that. You can sometimes just straight die to this build. You have to end up making a lot of Zerglings and get a very good surround on these Reapers. Speed is already on the way. A couple Queens as well. Now, this is some really damn good micro from Byun, as you can see. Those 2 Reapers doing serious work. 1 Reaper very low. This Queen, he's trying to dive on it. Okay, dude, Byun is truly the best Reaper player of all time by far. Doesn't quite get that Queen, but gives himself serious opportunities to. Great save there by Solar. Now, he does need to heal up on these Reapers some. He'll go over and hit this third hatch a bit. I wouldn't be surprised if Solar ends up canceling it. He's going to leave it there for now. The Reaper's jumping up in the main base. Oh, God. Solar going to be in some trouble up here. Those 5 Reapers putting in serious damage. The Lings trying to zone them off of those Queens that have gotten so low. Look at that. Jumps 1 up, and then he rotates through which one he's jumping up to eat up their health. Starts to put some damage on this hatch. Again, I think Solar should cancel that. I don't think he's going to be able to keep that alive. Now, the Ling's trying to catch some of the Reapers that go in between. So this hatch finishes. Now, here's the thing. If Byun wants to focus specifically on killing the hatch, I feel like he should be able to. But that being said, actually, Solar gets a pretty reasonable surround and does reduce that Reaper count quite a bit. Goes back, starts hitting the hatch. Now, he wants to zone out the Queens from getting back over here because they can transfuse, right? Well, at least one of them has transfused energy at the moment. And I believe the other one actually transfused that one. Okay, so they transfuse each other to kind of give himself a little bit more to fight with. You know what? It looks like I might have been a bit off there. He did stop making his Reapers. I don't think he's going to be able to end up killing this hatchery. Didn't put a ton of effort into it, just put a bit of damage on. And yeah, now going to have to get out with what he's got left. Just producing Marines at home. So Solar ends up holding. I think overall a pretty reasonable hold. You can see his overall drone count is kind of low right now. As far as who that was better for, I feel like that was slightly better for Byun. You know, when you're keeping Zerg in StarCraft 2 at a very similar worker count to Terran for that long, that generally feels pretty good for Terran. We don't really have a lot of tech for Zerg right now. We don't have any sort of upgrades, whereas here Byun is, you know, he's making 2 SCVs at a time, so he's not going to fall too far behind on those workers. Well, I mean, obviously you got 12 being made by Solar right now, but like, you know what I mean. He's just kind of able to consistently build up his economy and consistently make these units for their pressure, right? He's got stim already. +1 is a third the way done. So yeah, liking it like a little bit better for Byun, but this doesn't feel like Solar is dead in any way. Still feels like he has good play there. He's got the speed upgrade. He's got a fair amount of queens. His creep spread is starting to come along a little bit. More lings being made. This is an important moment. If he can kill this army before those 2 medevacs are out, that would be huge. Byun, I think, is too smart for that, though. Like, if he actually goes and commits with this before the medevacs, it's like the worst thing he can do. What a great place to stand those Marines. Zerglings are not going to have a good time getting in there. Now, 1-1 on the way here for Solar. +1 is finishing for Byun. He has the medevacs. Okay, so this is a hell of a lot of Marines. This feels like it might be a scary moment. All right, Solar sees what Byun is up to. Now, we do not have combat shields. All right, stims forward, picks off a queen immediately. I think he has enough to, yeah, he has enough to just grind those Zerglings down. Solar, it looked like Solar thought he had just enough to break this, and he absolutely did not. Now, the flank of Zerglings doing reasonably well. He's targeting down a lot of these medevacs. But yeah, look at these Marines. GG. And the reason that game ended up looking like that was he kept that drone count down really, really well, right? Like, that's what Byun was supposed to do there. It's like you're forcing your opponent to consistently make those Zerglings to deal with your Reapers. During that time, you're consistently building your economy, and you're able to come out and just continually apply pressure. And it's like, well, Solar's trying to drone. He's trying to get himself into a position, you know, where he's going to be able to have just like a big enough economy to carry him forward, and wasn't able to do that. Beautiful timing from Byun. The +1, the stim, the medevacs, everything worked out really well. So we're going to get into map 2. What does creep do? Everything. It's wild. So here we have in the top left, Byun. And in the bottom right, we have Solar. All right, for the guy asking what creep does, I guess you probably are a fan of other games like StarCraft 1. In StarCraft 2, creep gives you vision. It speeds up your units. It allows building things. It's incredibly strong. In fact, it's probably the strongest overall feature in the entire game. It's probably what should have been nerfed years and years and years and years ago, but wasn't, and probably never will be. So, I see in the chat, Volt saying nerf MBS, multiple building selection. Well, that's called Brood War. That's what that is. You know, one thing I found very funny is when they remastered Age of Empires 2, they added MBS, and basically the vast majority of professional commentators and players for Age of Empires 2 agree that that was the right move for Age. Whereas if you tried to do that in Brood War, it would actually break the game completely. So kind of a funny thing. I really enjoy thinking about things like that. It's like, what would this actually do to the game? It's like, oh, yes, this would be bad. No, it didn't always exist in Age. That is a crazy thing that you just said. This is what people told me when I did an Age event. They told me specifically about this. So maybe I'm saying it wrong, but at some point this was changed for Age. And they like it a lot more so that they can produce everything at once. So it is, once again, 3 racks Reaper here from Byun. Kind of interesting to see him go back towards this build. Putting a lot more damage on this third hatchery now. Now, if you're starting on the third hatchery earlier like this, as opposed to trying to grind down queens and lings, this is where absolutely you can end up getting a kill on it. Now, Solar's trying to fight for it. I don't know if he actually realizes that this is 3 racks Reaper. Like, he's only seen 3 Reapers so far. Excuse me, right? And, you know, until you actually realize what it is, you might think that you can end up holding it. Because the 2 racks, 3 Reaper variant, you definitely can't kill a third hatch, or you should not be able to. And you can see Byun is getting some pretty insane value here. Gets a queen, gets a lot of lings. Damn, Byun just really the king of the Reapers. One of the only players that has single-handedly gotten units nerfed before. That's a great surround from Solar, though. And it looks like this Reaper harassment is just about over. I think Byun maybe just slightly off there in the engagement. Now, this is real good, man. Harassing these add-ons is super, super strong. Going to be able to get that reactor, which takes so long to build. Very, very annoying stuff. Has to come up and repair this as well. SCV's coming down from that main base, and he will be able to hold the wall, but this is a great counterattack here from Solar. That's so good. That's so good to slow him down that much. All right, starts a reactor again. Going to get it to cancel immediately, of course, as expected. Dude, you cannot be letting this die. Oh my god. Is Solar going to break a barracks? I think just barely not. If this was StarCraft 1, that barracks died 100% of the time. Marine actually pops out on the outside. That's kind of funny because of all the repairing. Now, Stim going up on the main barracks inside. A lot of reactors on the way. Starport almost finished. Stim almost finished. Solar's sitting pretty on 50 drones. You can see the big difference. Remember last game when we were on 35 drones? They were both on 35 drones. This game, look at this. Byun 37 against 56 from Solar. All right, Hellion drop coming across the map. Oh, it's actually going to be a Hellbat push. That's kind of interesting. Well, he's playing against only Ling Queen. So, yeah, this could be really good from Byun. All right, pushing forward now. You know, I don't like these types of pushes. That is a lot of queens. I'm not sure if this is going to work for Byun or not. We'll see. He's targeting down very, very quickly here. The Stim doing a great job. The Hellbats, well, there's not a lot of Lings that have been engaging, but they are starting to come up now as he ended up getting rid of the medevac pretty quickly. Byun going to continue to push. Trying to get some queen picks here before Stim runs out. And actually, he is going to reduce that queen count down to 1, I believe. Oh, just barely gets pulled back. So 2 queens end up remaining. And Byun's push is over. Loses pretty much everything in it. All right, so the kind of a funny looking army there with a couple Hellbats in it. 1-1 almost done here for Solar. +1 is already done for Byun, but a little bit slower in that +1 armor. +2 has already started for him as well. Medevac boost in the main base. A Hellbat drop. We haven't seen this in a very long time. Oh my God. Really big roll in there, and GG is called. A lot of things going wrong for Byun in this game. Not as good a game as the first one from Byun for sure. What are we arguing about in the chat right now? Total garbage. Boneless versus bone and wings are both good. My poop on Saturn theory. The poop rings. All right, we're getting into game 3. Solar with a much better hold that last time. Now, Byun in the top right of Hecate, and in the bottom left we have Solar. Well, gotta wait a moment here. It's certainly going to be a walled 2 racks at least from Byun. We'll see if he goes for 3 racks or not.
Donated $3.33.
What's up, Don Defense?
Hey RT, how are you doing? I just finished my ESL map. I lost.
Oh, damn.
Second game took 1 hour.
Wow.
Poor Max Pax had to wait for us, lol. But in the name of all the guys in the chat, we thank you for casting SC2.
On behalf of all of them?
I say this convinced that no people would argue otherwise.
You're right, Don't Defense. Well, congrats that you had an hour game. That sounds pretty epic. I'm sure it was a fun game. Map mined out and everything. I hope that your game doesn't slow down the tournament significantly. We'll see. Dude, look at that male Ursadak. It's so crazy. But guys, if we have less StarCraft 1 tonight because of a delayed side of the bracket that Max Pax is on, it's actually Don't Defense's fault. Just so you guys know. His ID in the chat is not _Don't Defense. So you can let him know how appreciative you are of his 1 hour game. All right. What do we have here? What do we have here? Ah, it is going to be the 3RX again. So he's being a little bit stubborn, I guess is a good way to put it. Byun with a little bit of stubbornness. Something he's kind of known for, to be honest. Going 3RX Reaper once again. It felt like he had some miscontrol in the last game, honestly. So first Reaper going to come over. 3 Reapers being produced at a time right now. Popping up into that main base, getting some eyes on what's going on. Third hatch is just about to start for Solar. Nice little run around. See if he focuses more heavily this time on fighting the queens and the lings. Seems like that did better for him in the first game. Second game, it felt like he was going after the third hatch, which again, a 3x Reaper, like I feel like I've seen it kill that third hatch plenty of times. So I feel pretty confident in saying that if you do focus on that, you can get it, but I don't think he quite controlled well enough, which is weird because that's not something you normally say for Byun. So I could be off there. Maybe Solar just had the counter down like perfectly, but it felt like the surround was a little bit quicker than it normally is. Either way, still pretty consistent on this Reaper production. He's not actually making as many as he's made in a lot of these games. Already we have, excuse me, the Tech Lab coming up. So maybe thinking back to last game and a little bit unhappy with some of these counterattacks that Solar was putting on, wants to get that stim pretty quickly. You know, he's got a fair amount of Reapers here, but he hasn't been consistently maintaining pressure. It's a weird way to play it. If you're going to play like this, why not go 2 racks? I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know the answer to that. Okay, comes up after the third base. All right, gonna rotate out. This is, I feel like the way Byun's playing it's weird. Like he's really, maybe he's just being very careful not to overextend. Maybe that's it. You know, Solar is generally known as an aggressive player, so that could be it. That he's just like, no, I don't wanna like overdo it here. Okay, ooh, the Senku grenade not as great right there. The first one definitely did well. Wow, just shreds the lings of Solar. That has to be frustrating. Putting some more damage on that hatch. Dude, the amount of queens coming out, though, I don't think he's going to quite get it. All right, Ling's chasing him once again, trying to use those grenades to make sure they can't get the surround correctly. And in fact, turning around to chase them back. I like that weird drawbridge thing. It's like one of those bouncy bridges you go on as a kid. Damn, man. Are you kidding me? Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Like, Solar is in shock and disbelief that he was able to do that. So am I. So am I. That's amazing. That was some amazing micro from Byun. That was like as close to perfect as you're gonna get. Like, that was, I can't believe that. He didn't lose anything. He just killed everything. Now, his Marine's coming up with the Reapers back at full health. Dude, is he just gonna win right here? I think he is. GG. You have to be kidding me on that. That's unreal. I cannot believe that that is how that game went down.